Does investing guarantee freedom? There is something almost mystical about the way modern consciousness relates to investment. The promise whispered by financial advisors, repeated in books and podcasts, echoed in success stories, let your money work for you. The implication is profound, that through the correct allocation of capital, one can transcend the need to exchange time for money. That freedom lies waiting at the end of a compound interest calculation. But observe what actually happens to the human mind when it embraces this promise. A man begins investing with a sincere belief that he is purchasing his future liberation. He studies markets, diversifies portfolios, calculates projected return. The numbers look promising. The mathematics appears sound. The path to financial independence seems clear and inevitable. Yet, as his portfolio grows, something unexpected occurs. Instead of feeling increasingly free, he finds himself more tethered to market fluctuations than ever before. Economic news that once seemed irrelevant now triggers immediate anxiety. A bad quarter doesn't just mean lower numbers. It feels like a personal failure, a delay in his journey toward freedom. This is the paradox of seeking freedom through investment. The very mechanism meant to liberate us can become a new form of preoccupation. The investment industry presents a compelling narrative. Work hard, save diligently, invest wisely, and eventually passive income will exceed living expenses. At that magical moment, called financial independence, work becomes optional. Freedom is achieved. But what kind of freedom is this, really? Watch what happens when someone reaches their financial independence number. Often, there is not the expected euphoria, but a subtle anxiety. The portfolio that was meant to provide security now requires constant vigilance. Market volatility threatens the very foundation of their liberation. They discover that financial freedom has not freed them from worry. It has simply given them new things to worry about. The investor's mind becomes like a farmer watching the weather. Every economic indicator is scrutinized for its potential impact on the harvest. Interest rate changes, geopolitical events, corporate earnings reports, all these become sources of either hope or concern. The person who sought freedom through investment finds themselves more connected to global financial systems than ever before. This is not to suggest that investing is inherently problematic or that financial planning is meaningless. The observation is more subtle, that our relationship to investment often mirrors our relationship to control itself. The mind that believes it can engineer freedom through correct financial allocation is the same mind that believes it can control the future through sufficient preparation. But markets, like life itself, remain fundamentally unpredictable. The investor who ties their sense of security to portfolio performance is building their peace of mind on inherently unstable ground. There are people who have achieved extraordinary investment returns yet report feeling more anxious than when they had less money. Their wealth has grown, but their worry has grown alongside it. They have succeeded financially but failed to find the freedom they were seeking. Conversely, there are individuals who invest modestly, without attachment to specific outcomes, who experience genuine peace with their financial situation. They use investment as a tool without being used by it. They plan for the future without being consumed by future scenarios. The difference lies not in the investment strategy, but in the consciousness that engages with it. What if freedom cannot be purchased through any financial instrument? What if it is not a destination to be reached through accumulation, but a quality of being that exists independent of external circumstances? This perspective does not dismiss the practical benefits of investing. Building wealth can certainly expand options and provide security. But when investment becomes the primary strategy for achieving internal states of freedom and peace, we may be asking it to carry weight it was never designed to bear. The markets themselves offer fascinating lessons about attachment and expectation. They rise and fall with the rhythms of human psychology: fear, greed, hope, despair, all translated into price movements. The investor who remains calm during both bull and bear markets has learned something valuable, not just about finance, but about the nature of equanimity itself. Perhaps the most profound investment insight is this: the market will do what the market does, regardless of our preferences, predictions, or needs. Our portfolio values will fluctuate based on forces largely beyond our control. The question is not how to eliminate this uncertainty, but how to be in relationship with it. Can we invest without being invested in outcomes? Can we plan for financial growth without attaching our sense of freedom to the results? Can we use investment tools while remaining unattached to them as sources of ultimate security? There is a quality of freedom that has nothing to do with financial independence. It is the freedom of being present to life as it unfolds, rather than constantly calculating whether we will have enough resources to meet an imagined future. It is the liberation that comes from recognizing that our essential well-being does not depend on market performance. This freedom cannot be purchased, accumulated, or invested into existence. It emerges when we stop trying to engineer security through external arrangements and begin to explore what it means to be fundamentally okay regardless of circumstances. The person who discovers this freedom may continue to invest, but the relationship changes completely. Investment becomes a practical tool rather than a spiritual practice. Portfolio performance becomes information rather than identity. Financial planning becomes preparation rather than salvation. In the space between financial anxiety and financial attachment, something more balanced emerges. A way of engaging with investment that neither fears it nor worships it, that uses it skillfully without being enslaved by it. What is this that needs no return on investment to be free? This security that fluctuates with no market? This wealth that cannot be gained or lost through any financial transaction?